We are back at it again with another retro emulation handheld. This one from Anbernic, the RG405M. I've messed with it for a very short while, and I do have to say, I kind of like this thing. Here we go. All metallic housing here. No real butt cheeks, just some little pancake cheeks on the back for comfort or so they don't slide around on a table. I don't frickin' know. No HDMI out. We do have volume, power, USB-C for charging. Underneath, just headphone jack and micro SD card slot. We got 256 gigabytes here. I got this from GoGameGeek.com. They sent it to me for purpose of review, checking it out. So I'm just gonna give you guys my thoughts, mess around with it. But this thing, I kind of like it. It is a more powerful handheld than a lot that are out there. This is using the T618 2 gigahertz CPU with a Mali G52 GPU, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it does have a 4-inch IPS display at 640 by 480 resolution. It is touchscreen. You're running Android 12 here, and yeah, pretty nice. We got, you know, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all that good stuff. Speakers down there. Let's get this the volume up. So I like what Anbernic's been doing with the Android handhelds where, hey, you could just jump into this like emulation front end type thing here. But I do dig this. Like, you don't have to use it this way, but it makes it simple to just jump into some systems and games. But then you could also change it to, let me see, down here, the Anbernic mode. Game mode is on. You could turn it off and then go back to, you know, a more typical Android front end there where you could scroll through and, you know, mess around with different applications, download apps, games. So let's see what we got here. Start from the beginning. NES, Master System, PC Engine. So a lot of the 8 and 16-bit stuff is covered. Game Boy, Super Nintendo. What else do we got? Sega Saturn? So a lot of places that are selling this, I see they sell it with or without games. So, you know, keep that in mind if you order one of these. If you order it without the micro SD card, it's not going to have games. PSP, we got 50 games. DS, we even got Wii. Nintendo Wii, what? This thing can handle the Wii? 3DS? Oh my God, all right. What do we got in the Wii? Wow. Okay, I don't know what the buttons are. We're at about 30 FPS right now. Okay, I just noticed something I don't like necessarily. Hey, pause this. The L and R buttons, I kind of like, the R2 and L2 are up a bit, and then the L1 and R1 are recessed, and that's fine, but I don't like how the R1 and the L1, like, it kind of wraps around the R2. Like that little lip in the back, I don't like that. Like this whole section should just be the R2. The R1 shouldn't extend past that. If you could see that, that's kind of, it's a little weird. Like, I don't like the way that feels. Like, it feels like I'm registering, yeah, like if I'm pushing too hard down on the L2 and R2, I could be registering that at the same time. So it really seems like 3DS and Wii, it's not going to be like all encompassing. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to play the entire library on here, but some select games that are not crazy demanding, seems like they should run fine. So that's cool. So we then we really shouldn't have oh shit, we really shouldn't have any issue with stuff like Dreamcast. Dude, if God of War runs on the PSP, you're pretty much going to be good for most of the PSP library. This is freaking fine. No stuttering or anything. This is clean. Nice looking screen, but I do notice the viewing angles. are not as great as some other handhelds I've used recently. It's not horrible, but it does darken, like with just, it's, yeah, I think you could see that on camera. It does darken quite a bit. But I mean, are you gonna be playing it like this? Or are you gonna be playing it like this? Like this is fine. But yeah, this is sweet. It plays just well. I mean, so far this is my main complaint, is the shoulder buttons, but I think you can get used to it. Dude, I put it on like hyper speed for a moment there and it still was running okay. I scrolled past this earlier. They have PS2 on here? You gots to be kidding me. Okay, God of War 2 on the PS2 seems to be playing okay once we're in the game. There's a couple little stutters in the beginning cutscene, but it wasn't bad. Not perfect, but hey, a little bit of PS2, a little bit of Wii. PSP should be great. A little bit of 3DS so far. Yeah, this is cool, man. I couldn't imagine too much having a problem with Dreamcast. So yeah, I'm having like no issue with Dreamcast. That's a good thing. I didn't think I would. Dreamcast can run decently well on a lot of different devices, but sometimes you just run into these games that have some minor like slowdown and glitches. But so far I've tested a few games and I'm not running into any problems. Games just load up right away and they're playing great. It's always kind of difficult playing some Nintendo 64 games on these devices. Even when they run fine, just the controls will be kind of difficult to get used to. But GoldenEye seems to be running all right. So this looks great and it's playing just fine. I think you should be able to get a good number of Nintendo 64 games running very well on this device. But you know, even some systems have a difficult time running this game. And this seems to be doing okay here. It's not a great game by any means, but hey. Oh my God. Got my ass whooped. So my final thoughts on the Anbernic RG405M. I mean, really, when does it end? There'll be a new version in a couple months. It just keeps happening. But I do like this device. I feel the build quality is decent. The analog sticks, their Hall effect are fine. The D-pad is really good. The face button's a little tiny bit stiff, but they're okay. My main criticism is really the shoulder buttons as far as the build goes. Don't like how the L1 and R1 hug behind the two buttons. The screen could have, better viewing angles on it. But the power behind this thing, being able to play PS2 a bit, Nintendo Wii, PSP ran fine. That's kind of cool. You're not going to have a lot of issues with most systems on here, and having those little bit higher end consoles being able to be played on here. Not everything. It's going to be like a small percentage of the library should be fine with those systems. I think is really nice. So yeah, the whole presentation, the Android system, the Anbernic game mode is really cool. Being able to swap the buttons between like Xbox layout or Nintendo layout, which right there, that's pretty cool. Plays some Android apps decently well as far as games like Genshin Impact and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a cool little device. Really up to you to decide. I digs it, but it's not perfect. Let me know what you guys think, what you would like to see me test if I do a follow-up video. If enough people like, hey, check this out, try this, I'll go ahead and do another video for you guys. So really do appreciate y'all. Thank you. Bye.